Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we will be looking at Peach Pretty Barbie. So this is the doll that I initially saw at Goodwill that was just like laying down like this, and I ran to it and I grabbed her up real quick and I was like, oh my god, it's Peach Pretty Barbie, which I've had one of these dolls before previously, but I never opened her, and I actually gave her to really sweet friends.
Oh, that's marvelous.
I got a big bunch of Goodwill dolls that were vintage boxed Barbies from the late 80s and the early 90s, and this is just me going through them. And in this one, we will be doing Peach Pretty Barbie. So this is Peach Pretty Barbie. The plastic is very yellow, so I'm very curious as to how she's looking on the inside of the box. But it says so many peachy possibilities, and on the bottom of the box you can see some outrageous looks, and then we've got this one right here which is really cute. This one right here, I'm like, what? what in the Jetsons is going on with that dress down there? And then this one right here is actually a little bit cuter, but this one right here is ultimately, honestly, probably the most wearable of the looks. She does look really cute in there. Miss Quintessential late 80s, early 90s.
Old maiden.
On the back of the box, we've got a big blown up picture of Peach Pretty Barbie, where it is a sheer peach delight at twilight. So we get to see this beautiful Barbie in her beautiful display. You can see how much I paid for her right there. And you can see that she's also wearing these spiked heels, which were honestly discontinued in 1986. So I don't know why they have a doll from what is this doll from? She's from 1989, still in those shoes. I love those shoes. Those are my favorite if we talk about the Barbie pumps of that decade. But if we look over here, it says romantic rosettes to wear here and there. So many different looks. So apparently her purse and her little rosette in her hair can be changed into many different ways. They put a label over this, which don't know what that is a picture of, unfortunately, stupid Goodwill. And we've got a picture of her wearing all of this in her big long hair. So there we are. There's the back of her box. So let's go ahead and try to open her. So she's got the construction on the back of the box, like where at this time in the late 80s and the early 90s, you can open up your Barbies from the side, but it looks like Goodwill is trying to stop us from doing that. So we've got her out of the box. Say goodbye. And let's look at her paper accessories. So this doll must have been in a very moist environment.
What?
Just like all of these other dolls. She is just as dirty as the other ones, so we are going to have to work our hardest to get this doll clean. She comes with a Barbie Fan Club membership pamphlet. We have another one of these doll warnings right here, which this one is in even worse shape. This is just kind of giving you all an idea of like what could go on in a box. Like what could go on for this piece of paper to end up looking like this.
Amen, brother.
You know what I mean? Like what could go on? So that is another discussion, again, that I'm going to have with you all. Just because she's in the box does not mean that she's mint.
Tell it, Daddy.
And it's very important, if you are going to get a inbox doll with the plans of removing her, that you know how to take care of your dolls after you take them out of the box, because sometimes their box can be a prison and it's not as good as it would be if they were honestly just out of it to begin with.
Testify.
Plastic wrap around the hair was new at the time, which was totally a thing when I was a child. It tells you how to remove it. Now, when I was a kid, because I was a kid in the late 90s, early 2000s, and mid 2000s, this was everywhere, so it did not come with this actually. This little piece of paper came with all of the dolls from the late 80s and the early 90s who utilized these plastic strips. Later on, they did not include it, probably thinking that people knew how to get her hair out of those little plastic strips. If we look at this doll as she is in the liner, you can tell that she is very dirty. She looks pretty waxy to me. move on down to her dress. She does kind of smell, uh-oh, look at that. Ooh. She does kind of smell like mildew. And if we take her accessories out of the package, she does come with a stand, so that's really cool. That's going to be handy. And interesting choice that her accessories are actually a teal color, an aquamarine. Very, very interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and get her out of her liner, and then I'm going to give her a bath. If you are interested in how to give your dolls a proper cleanup, I can link a video down in one of my restoration tutorials playlist that could help you out when it comes to cleaning your doll. So here we have Peach Pretty Barbie, and I just want you all to see the severity of just how dirty she really is. I know, like on camera, it's probably not picking up very well, but she's got a lot of staining going on, a lot of like mold happening and plastic leaching, and then look at the mold at the feet. She's got a lot going on, this poor doll. So I'm going to clean her very similarly as I did with Garden Party Barbie, since I believe that all of these dolls came from the same house. They all seem to have the same problems that will be appearing. So it's kind of a shame, like all of these Barbies I'm going to have to treat like they were used and played with Barbies. But what we're going to do with her is what should have happened a long time ago. We are going to wash her, and I know I do this in almost all of my videos. The tools I'm using to wash this Barbie are going to be dish soap, baking soda, and a soft bristle toothbrush, a wide tooth comb, and any kind of moisturizing hair conditioner. This doll does have the Kanekalon hair fiber, and I know a lot of collectors like to use fabric softener as hair conditioner for some of their dolls, which it does work in a pinch, but you need to use a very small amount of it. If you use a lot of it, it can actually make your doll feel rather greasy and actually be kind of stinky, which if you want greasy and stinky, don't clean her, but you gotta do you at the end of the day. After you're done scrubbing her in a circular motion with that soft bristle toothbrush with the dish soap and the baking soda mixed together, after you rinse her off, why not give her another bath, but this time just use dish soap. That will actually make her squeaky clean, and it's so satisfying. And after you rinse her off again and you make sure that you have all the dish soap out of her hair, you can go in with that conditioner and lather it all throughout her hair. Lather it from the ends to the tips, and once it's fully saturated, you could start brushing. Depending on how knotted the doll's hair is, you could leave it in there for quite some time to make sure that the conditioner oils soak all the way through. I personally love finding a conditioner that has a really fabulous scent. I recommend that you do the same, because from time to time you're going to go in for a sniff, and why not have something that smells good after your hard work? And after you get carpal tunnel from brushing so much, you could also give it another courtesy condition that will definitely leave that hair smelling fabulous. If you are looking for a more detailed video on how to restore your Barbies or any other vintage toys, I will leave one linked below in my description that could really help you out. Oh my god.
Mold!
That is mold. That is straight up mold spores. I'm going to wipe them down with some Clorox bleach. I think I've pretty much already killed any mold that was already there, but it couldn't hurt to be on the safe side. However, to get rid of the staining, I think I should use a new product that I've never used before, and I purchased it for this special occasion. I will be using Removes It. I have seen this product floating around for years and years and years, and I don't know why it took me forever to get it, but it did. I'm going to use this just as I would my other stain removers. I'm going to put it on the stained area, obviously. I'm going to wrap it with saran wrap and then put it under my heated lamp, and we're just going to see how long it takes for this stain to lift. So this stuff is very potent.
Smelled like straight up shit. It smelled like a toilet full of nasty ass shit, okay?
It straight up smells like peroxide, and I'm honestly thinking that's really what it primarily is. So I'm gonna go ahead and rub some of this on her leg, like so. Just to mainly target these areas. So again, like I don't really know like how this stuff works. I've never done this before with the Removes It, so we'll see. This could be a great thing, it could be a terrible thing, but anything's possible. Again, whenever you do get these in-box dolls, expect the unexpected. Don't expect everything to be minty fresh as they come out of their box. You never know a doll's history. So I got this off of online, by the way. I don't remember exactly where I bought it. I think I bought it from the people who actually make it. So if you type that in Google, I'm sure you're going to find it. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to wrap it up in plastic wrap, saran wrap to be exact. I'm going to stick this under my little heat lamp. And hopefully by tomorrow morning, a lot of those stains will be gone.
Tomorrow.
Look at that. It's gone.
Yay!
Okay, so now I'm gonna wash this off and then I can work on her outfit. Okay, so we're gonna replace some of her elastic on her little accessories like this right here. As you can see, it has been stretched out. If you wanna look at this one, like it's not as stretched out as this one right here, but it's still pretty stretched out. Like this is supposed to be able to be like a little purse or something, but it's very dangly. It's much more dangly than I think it probably originally was. There's a lot of leeway there. You could have put this around her waist, but again, like it's just gonna flop there because the elastic is so large and in charge. So I went on eBay and I found myself some elastic that is the same elastic except not stretched out. You see how pretty it is. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to replace these. Now, this is very straightforward, okay? Like, we're going to do a loop like so, and then we are going to sew it right here. Excuse the bad manicure. We're going to sew it right here, and then we're going to sew it again right onto the flower like so. So this is exactly what it's going to be. That's exactly what this was originally. And you know, like I've come across some dolls before. There was actually one that I just reviewed where she had some of these accessories, like these little itty bitty accessories, but one of them actually had dry rot in the elastic, and then the other one was like this one, like where it was fine and it was usable and such. But it's so funny to see how the same product, the same material can react to the same conditions differently. Now this one was wrapped around her hair, so it was like all the way stretched out anyway. This one was just wrapped around her wrist, so there's going to be some differences as to the conditions that it was in, but yeah, I think that's very interesting. So we're going to work on this one, and then we're also going to work on her little shawl, her boa, her skirt, like her one of many things. Now this fabric, I believe, is reused from Jewel Secrets Whitney and also from the Astronaut Barbie line. So like they were using this for all it was worth, which is cool because, you know, like it is very fun fabric. But as you can see, like it's pretty stretched out. Like it's not all the way stretched out, but it's stretched out enough to where like this is about as big as it gets, when it probably originally was very much like this. So again, we can replace this elastic. So what we're going to do with this actually, again, is very straightforward. So this was sewn onto this fabric with some white cotton thread. You can see that right there. You can see like how it skips a lot. You can see the tension is not that tight on the seam right there. So that's perfect, because that's exactly how I would sew it too. So I'm gonna go over here and start to take it apart. You will have to take this apart if you do want to replace elastic. Now I'm only showing you all this because a few of you have asked me like how I change out my elastics, and this is not going to be, I do like a quick fix where I insert an elastic like this, for instance, into the elastic band itself, and it makes it more springy. I'm just going to go ahead and do it properly because it's a lot easier. I'm going to start back here because it stands out more. Just go in carefully and take out the thread. This is going to be a tedious part of your labor. I suggest doing this while watching something on YouTube or watching something on your streaming services or on your TV. You can do this at the couch, at a desk. You could do it in your car if you're the passenger. Don't do it when you're the driver.
What I learned in boarding school is blankety, blank.
What I learned in boating school is...
What I learned in boarding school is... What I learned in boarding school is...
what not to do at a stoplight.
Will you please tell us your real age?
I'm 42.
Oh, you poor cow.
That's okay. Ta-da. And keep this because we're going to use that as reference. So let's look at this right here. So we've got like our long strip of elastic. Boop. So go ahead and stretch it out like this. Boop. You can see how stretched out it is. I'm going to put this elastic actually right up next to it, like so. And I'm going to stretch it out to the point where it is right now, okay? Stretch it out like so to the end. Right there. All right, so you see how this is right there? That is how stretched out this elastic is. You see? That is how stretched out it is. So I'm gonna go to the end right over here. I'm gonna cut. And there we go. So this elastic you can throw out. You no longer need it. And then this elastic right here is going to be the elastic that you use for your shawl. There we go. All right, so I'll take this over to the sewing machine and then we will work on this in just a minute. So let's go to these over here. So you can go ahead and take your seam ripper and you can kind of see where they begin. Just take it to the thread. I don't think that they were sewn on that well, but maybe I'm wrong. Here we go. Okay. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing that we did before. Put it on the end right over here. Hold it out like that. And I'm going to stretch it to where it meets up with this elastic here. Okay, so now I'm going to relax it and you can see how stretched out that elastic was. So this is where we want it. And I'm going to assume that these were the same length. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this double, like so. Okay, so if we look at this as a reference, this was machine stitched onto this elastic, which you could do that if you want. I'm not going to. I'm going to just hand sew it onto this. So as you can see, it is folded down like so. And then it's stuck onto the flower like that. And that's what you have. So they were having her use this as like a purse and stuff like that in the promo pictures. I don't know if I would use it as a purse. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and sew these on. You can take actually a sewing pin if you wanted to. Fold back down, then go down over here, la la la, fun. Just gonna hold it down like this. So we're gonna poke right there in the middle. Then boom. Okay, so this is what you're gonna sew. You're gonna sew this down like so onto the little peach blossom. You're gonna do the same thing to this one right over here. And then whenever you're done, before you know it, you'll have some new looking elastics. Okay, first things first, turn on the machine. Woo, boop, boop. So we're gonna make sure that we have our white cotton thread in. We do, it's also on the bobbin, that's important. Match up your thread. We're gonna go right over here. I'm gonna go all the way to 5, then I'm gonna go all the way to 7. It's going to give us the most relaxed seam. This is really good for like bias. If you're doing something and you wanna just remove the thread really quick, this is a good way to do it. I'm going to put down our little shawl right here. I'm going to just put the foot onto it. Give a little bit of allowance right there. And I know some of you out there are like, oh no, she's not using pins, what the hell? Well, that's okay. Sometimes you don't need to use pins. And sometimes you do, we're gonna see. But I realize that after I say that, I'm probably gonna be like, bitch, you should have used pins. Okay, so I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna go slowly, like so. By the way, this is so hard to do as the camera is right at my nose, okay? Pull tight. When you get your elastic, pull tight, okay? And you can go ahead and you can start putting this fabric where you need it, okay? Like right here's good. And just try to go slowly. You don't have to go quickly. We're not in a sweatshop. It might be your sweatshop, but we're not in a sweatshop. We don't have anybody with big whips behind us unless you're into that.
I am literally in the toilet.
Trying to get you to sew this stuff. Just take your time. There we go. Try to make it as even as possible on the line. There we go. At some point, you're gonna lose grip of this elastic. Don't worry about it. It's gonna be great. You're gonna do swell. You're doing great right now, by the way, if you're doing this with me. You're doing so great. Or if you're working on another project and you're watching me do this, you're doing so great. Or if you're sleeping and you don't know what's going on, you're doing so great.
Oh my God. What? 5 cents off wax paper.
Okay, there we go. Tra-la-la. And boom. So now we'll take it out like this. And what do you know? Ta-da! Okay, let's do this Barbie's hair. So I have already done her curls and her boil wash off camera. I've even put in her hair tie, but I'm gonna do it again because now that her hair's all curled, it needs an opportunity to fluff all the way up. So what we're going to do, actually, which would probably be the easiest, is I'm gonna go ahead and take out the front parts, like so. Boop. There's somebody in a short actually that I created where I did one of my 90s perms on my dolls, and they're like, you ruined her hair.
I know more about
Barbie
than you do. You never get any American.
Girl, please. Why? So anyway, people. Anywho, so we have her hair out now. I'm going to brush this up, and the reason I'm doing that is because when I got it wet, like I felt like it looked kind of kinky on one side, and we don't want that to be kinky. So I'm gonna take this hair tie and re-put it back into her hair like so. Got it all brushed out and looking fabu. Okay, there we are. Boop. Look how fabulous. So you can always like take it back if you want to give her like that little bump it look, like right there. Look at this hair. Oh, it's gorgeous. Okay, so what we're going to do, actually we're going to take the whole thing out. I've got like my old curler mixed in with a bunch of my new curlers, which by the way, those curlers that I posted that I got from Amazon, by the way, they are so wonderful. I love them. Since she has Kanekalon hair, I actually did not use boiling hot water, so you can tell that her hair is much more relaxed than what it would be had I used boiling hot water. So what I'm gonna do, actually, I'm gonna start in the back, and I'm gonna brush all this way. Just starting here in the back. You can take the end of your comb and brush downwards like so. Go. This doll has really long hair and really thick hair on top of. Look how pretty that is. Oh my gosh. Ah, that is so pretty. At least it looks pretty from the back. How's it look? Oh, that's so cute with it looking up in the front. Of course, now we're gonna have to fix a couple things. A couple things need to be fixed, but that's okay. And that, yeah, okay, we can work with this. Okay, so what we're gonna do first is I'm actually gonna work on the bangs. So the bangs were like curled separately, like how she came out of the box, but in the promo picture, it's just a hard curl. So to separate them, I'm gonna take the rat tail end of the comb and just brush in different directions. Take it like that. Take the other side of the comb, brush them around, play with them, see what you think. You can go ahead and make them like this too. train the curls a bit. There we go. Do some up, do some down like so. You could make them bouncy and fluffy like that if you wanted. There we go. You could take some individual curls and really fluff it out. This doll had really fluffy bangs, so don't be afraid to make them fluffy and bouncy and pretty. Okay, look how pretty those bangs are. Really fluffy and just pretty all around. And if you have like any loose ends, feel free to use that rat tail comb. Brush it back in there. And there you go, really pretty bangs. Okay, so what we're gonna do over here for this side of the head, we're going to just shape the curls together like so. Get rid of any holes that you might have. Take the hair, work it around your finger. Look at that, see? Just train it, train the hair. So what we're doing is we are training the hair in that direction. So take some from up here. Curl up like that, rat tail comb. Lay gracefully. You can spread it out too with the comb. And check that out. Pretty hair fluff right there. Now this might be a little bit too, how do you say, stiff. So I'm actually, instead of curling it under, let's try to curl it up, see what that's like for her. Yeah. And then this one, we're gonna curl under. Let's see what that's like. And again, add on, brush together, and it creates something super pretty, you know, just like the Barbie hair that you wish came out of the box, you know, well manicured and beautiful and all of that. And again, like if it's too fluffy on some ends, take the rat tail comb, brush it up, fluff it out if you need to. This also works with your own hair, like if you do it with your own hair and such. But yeah. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to add one of her little flower pieces. So she came with these little flower pieces. We're gonna add this one into her hair up here. And this is the one that was like really stretched out. Okay. So put it in the position you want it in. I believe this was wrapped 2 times originally, and this is why that was probably stretched out. But that's okay, because there we go. Boop. And there it is again. Now, again, originally you were able to take out this and of course put it anywhere on her person. That way you can create a different look and it would be really pretty. And you don't actually have to keep her curls like the way that I was curling them on the other side, because this doll out of the box had really curly hair. It was very pretty. Even after I bathed it, it was very pretty hair. And I just like their hair to be a little bit more manicured than loose box curls, but they really weren't bad. It was very pretty. We go. Check that out. It's very, very pretty. Then we're gonna work on the tops up here. We'll work up here. Brush the hair up like so. Then curl down, big fluffy bouncy curl. Do it again right over here. Fluff up. Now this Kanekalon is very big, very fluffy, very full. To me, like even though I did boil wash it before I did it, her hair is really fuzzy, which is not ideal for me. But again, it was fuzzy before too. But there you have it. Like we've got big, fluffy, poofy curls, big, voluminous hair, which is what it was all about. So let's go ahead and get to this Barbie dolls review. Okay, let's get into Peach Pretty Barbie review. Okay, so here's Peach Pretty Barbie. And this is her all restored. Let's do 360. Look at that hair. I know, I made a humongo, but she is so fierce and so fabulous. And this is like how I truly feel like if Mattel could have it perfect, they would have had every Barbie at this time frame looking just like this. And that's why you can use Kanekalon, folks. Like you can make it huge. She's got like Dolly Parton hair. Like how fabulous in fantasy is this doll? So let's go ahead and look at her legs, like where she had those mold marks.
They're completely gone. That stain remover worked.
So beautiful. But yeah, anyway, so I did not fully dress this doll because I wanted to show you all of the accessories that she came with before we put them on. She comes with the late 80s and early 90s hairbrush, little seashell hairbrush. Now this doll I believe is from 1989, and they were still using these hairbrushes within 1988 and 89. So you can see like how they changed. I wanted to show you this just in case you never noticed how much shorter the original bristles are on the first edition of these combs compared to the second edition of these combs. It's just interesting. It's interesting to look at. She also comes with wide toe pump heels in the color teal. Why they chose the color teal to go with her little belt is beyond me. I do think that the color would have been better if it were either the clear crystally shoes or if it was like a peach shoe. Figured that would look better because this one, it kind of stands out, but maybe that's what they were looking for. Again, this whole doll is very avant-garde, even for that era. She also comes with a, I want to say like early 80s stand. A lot of the dolls of the world would come this. Beauty Secrets Barbie came with this. I believe this first doll to come with this stand like this is Superstar Ken, believe it or not. This was his stand. But it did come with her. A lot of these later 80s dolls came with these stands, and they would again be your more deluxe doll. Like she wasn't like the top-notch doll of that time period, but because she came with the stand and a lot of accessories, I do believe that she was one of their premieres, even though she's really not that popular.
She has two peach colored rosettes, and I really like them. It changes up her versatility a bit.
Very pretty. I've already put one in her hair, and this was because like I guess she could use as a purse. She could use it as a purse. You could put it in her hair again. You could put it around her wrist as a corsage. If you wanted to get crafty, you could like make the elastic larger to where you could wrap it around her neck, and it could be like a little choker. And I'm thinking about putting it around her waist and making it a little flower because I think that would be so pretty. She came with this metallic lame boa thing. It kind of looks like a small jacket whenever you put on her. It's like a boa, and in the picture they have it like down here like this, and I'm just like, girl, that doesn't look good. She looks like, you know, a cupcake if you do it like that. Maybe that's the point. She's supposed to look like a cupcake. I don't know. And then she comes with this beautiful skirt, which the elastic is still good in this skirt. And it's not finished on the top, and I think that was supposed to be the look because again, like you can see, it kind of looks like this in a way. So they were going with some particular look. So let's go ahead and put on her shoes. Let's see. Now these shoes are not made in Malaysia, so I don't think that they'll crack, but her feet are rather big. Go ahead and put them on as best as we can. Okay. And now let's go for one of her looks. So this one had the skirt, and we're gonna do my favorite look at the end, by the way. All right, and then there she is, how she would have been sold in the box, looking all glamorous as ever. And of course, her little purse, the 360 again. There you go. This doll is really fun. Again, like, you can decide what look she's going to be in, which allows you or the child to become the designer. And there are more ways to fashion this Barbie than what the box will show you. So this Barbie will keep you occupied for quite some time, I believe. But I think it's time for a different look. Put this even lower like that. She could walk around like this. Ooh, yes, you know. You look kind of funky. You could have it to be like a mini bubble skirt, like so. Like that. See? Make it look like that. Which is pretty cute, super cute, right? You know, you could live that life right there. Or we could take off this. We could put this up here. There we go. It's like part of the reason that her hair can get kind of annoying, even though it's so pretty, is because it is so long and thick. And again, like, this is very jagged, like it has very jagged edges on it. So it's like pulling at her hair, and her hair is so fluffy because it's Kanekalon. It's just clinging onto it. Okay, like you could have it like this, which to me looks very similar to Gay Parisienne, right? It's that same silhouette. You could have this like 80s answer to Gay Parisienne. And like I said, you could put this around her wrist. Let's put it around this one. She has no bling on this wrist. Like so. See? Ooh. Or you could put it around her waist as well. Like I said, like you could stretch this out and put it around her waist. And that would be really pretty too. Again, there's so many different things you could do with this. If you're not feeling this, which, you know, you don't have to. Ta-da! Look at that. What do you think of that? And you could, again, make this a mini skirt. Like so. See, a different look. Now, these looks, again, they're very avant-garde, but this doll's not meant to be realistic. She's meant to be a fantasy. She's meant to evoke your imagination. She's meant to show you that there are many different ways that you could be yourself a little fashion designer and such. But yeah, okay. So we're gonna do probably my favorite look. Yeah, let's do it. And again, you can use that silver lame wrap on the top. Check that out. Isn't that attractive? Check her out. Now, this is Peach Pretty Barbie, but she does get confused a lot with another Barbie with the name Peach. Peaches and Cream Barbie.
Scandalous!
So here we have Peach Pretty Barbie alongside the original Peaches and Cream Barbie and the reproduction in Peaches and Cream Barbie. I'm still so happy that I got to get the reproduction as well as the original. My friend Maria actually gifted me the Peaches and Cream Barbie reproduction originally way back when, probably like 10 years ago. And unfortunately, I did have to sell it so that I could make a dream of mine come true. And I just recently got this year, like somewhere around like May or something like that. It was, I believe, in like my first flea market video whenever I purchased it. And then I got her and like a Malibu Barbie together. But anyway, I'm so happy to have the reproduction back in my collection because she is so special and she's so pretty. And she's just different enough compared to this original Peaches and Cream Barbie doll, which, by the way, I heard a rumor, and I could be wrong, but we might be getting another reproduction of Peaches and Cream Barbie. That would be nice. It'd be great to see the African American one get reproduced because I love her and I think she's so pretty and I would like to have her in my collection, but she's kind of hard to find. So we're going to put the reproduction to the side because it's going to be all about the 80s girls, these two right here. So this is the OG Peaches and Cream Barbie. I'll push her over here. Hopefully she won't fall. There she is in her glory. A very beautiful doll. And one of the best things about her, probably other than her sweet face, which is so beautiful, she is one of my favorite 80s dolls, like face-wise, because look at that beautiful face. Purple eyeshadow, red lips, high-colored cheeks. And this is a made in Philippines version. There are many versions of this Peaches and Cream Barbie. She was made for quite some time. The original two versions will be made in Taiwan and the Philippines. This is a Philippines example. You will find some later Peaches and Cream Barbies that were made in Malaysia, and they will have the wide toes. They won't have the pronounced toes, and they also will look on the verge between a Philippines and a Taiwan, facial screening wise. So she's very pretty, very special doll. I've always found that the Philippines Peaches and Cream Barbies always have the thicker hair rooting pattern, so they will have more hair than the Taiwan version, and the part line will be a little bit more pronounced and whatnot. But if we put them together side by side, you can see that they are very similar. And this doll came out probably 4 or 5 years after the Peaches and Cream Barbie came out.
And like I said previously, Peaches and Cream Barbie was made for many years, and I would say by 1987 they were completely done selling Peaches and Cream Barbie.
So by 1989, when this doll came out, she would have been your older sister's Barbie, or perhaps a revised version of the Peaches and Cream Barbie. As Peaches and Cream Barbie's outfit does change as well. The skirt is not removable, which is fine because it's so beautiful. But the stole is actually where the magic is. There's snaps on it and you could wrap it around her in many different ways, just like a la Crystal Barbie or something like that. Except the difference between this Barbie and Crystal Barbie is that her wrap, and even Dream Day Barbie, her wrap had metal snaps on it where you can unsnap it from touching each other, and then you can wrap it in many different ways. And she came with a top that you could spin, and on that top were different fashion looks that you could try on your Peaches and Cream Barbie. So you could have endless amounts of fun with her as well, like mixing and matching and designing new different outfits to go with her beautifully cloudy dress. Whereas this one is a little bit different, where you do have actual removable pieces other than a shawl. So other than this being the play feature, the actual play feature of this doll is going to be everything on her. Whereas this doll's removable pieces are going to be her shawl and her little peach bud right here. So this is going to be another peach flower rosette, which again, you have an updated version right here as well. You can look at them and you can decide which one is your favorite. My favorite is going to be the Peaches and Cream Barbie, as that is who sentimentally I connect with the most. I remember this doll being around when I was a child at flea markets and always wanting her, and then finally getting her as an adult and just absolutely loving her. And same with the reproduction. I remember getting this doll twice now and actually loving it and such. And I would say that Peaches and Cream Barbie, along with Beauty Secrets Barbie and Golden Dream Barbie, are some of the dolls that I can have repeats of and never get enough, because I like redressing them in different fashions. I like mixing and matching them back in their original outfits. I like playing around with them. I like looking at them the most. They are the most fun for me to dress because they're so transitional. You can dress them as a sporty girl. You could dress them as a fancy girl. You can dress them in your Oscar de la Renta to your Barbie clone fashions of that time period. And she always will look fabulous.
I look quite pretty.
This doll right here is very beautiful. If you're on the fence about getting her, I don't think you really should be. She's a very nice doll. Like, honestly, I would get her again and again. Like, she's very beautiful and she turned out super great. and I love her hair. And also, again, like if you like to get these dolls and like use them as your fashion models, you really can't go wrong with her silver jewelry because it really goes with everything. That is going to be my Peach Pretty Barbie doll review, my Peaches and Cream Barbie doll comparison to Peach Pretty Barbie. If you all like this video, please leave a like down below, leave a comment, and please share with your friends. Thank you all so much for being here. You're making my dreams come true, and I hope you all have a fabulous rest of your day today. Bye-bye.
November is Barbie Children's Summit Month. Listen.
The world would be a better place if you could save the trees and the eagles. It's up to you and me. Together we can do it. We can save our world. Together we can do it. Every boy and every girl. We can stop the trees from falling. We can free our world of drugs. We can keep our birds soaring. There's still time for kids like us.
At the Barbie Children's Summit, children will decide the cause most vital to their future. This November, every time you buy a Barbie doll, a portion of the proceeds will go to support that cause.
Together we can do it. We can save our world.
There's never been a better time to buy Barbie
Together, every boy.
and help make this a better world.
Together.